Charles Oliveira is rumored to be fighting Max Holloway next, and it is looking very likely that it is going to happen. Alright boys, welcome back to the channel, the best channel for MMA content, posting multiple times a week. Subscribing and liking is always free, so feel free to do that, it helps out a lot. But getting right into the video, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway is rumored. Both fighters have called each other out, and I think it will happen for a couple of reasons. First reason being which is that both fighters called each other out, right? Oh, great one, Travis. But if you look at this, this is a month ago. Max Holloway welcomes a BMF title fight against Charles Oliveira at International Fight Week. These two previously fought 10 years ago in 2015. And so Charles Oliveira said first, if Islam Makhachev only wants to fight in October, I definitely want to fight before that, so why not face Max Holloway for the BMF belt? And this was before Ilia Topuria was confirmed moving up to the lightweight division. And then Max Holloway replied and said International Fight Week, so both fighters want to fight there. But moreover, we go to 6 hours ago, ESPN MMA posted on YouTube. The last one was ESPN MMA as well, so this is official sources. Charles Oliveira said BMF is about being the toughest guy, and that's what I consider myself to be in this division. I believe that I have shown that, and having the BMF belt is the only thing that is missing. Those are direct words from Oliveira's mouth. Kind of, he doesn't speak English, but that's the translation of what he said. And this fight is absolutely 99% gonna happen for a multitude of reasons. One, we have Ilia Topuria moving up to the lightweight division. Just made another video about that 2 days ago. But there's a big problem with finding him a fight, because Makhachev's team said that Ilia doesn't deserve it and they don't want to fight him. Oliveira said he only wants to fight Ilia if it's for a belt, and Arman Tsarukyan said he doesn't want to fight Ilia Topuria. But Ilia Topuria only wants to fight for a belt, so it is very hard to find him a fight right now in the UFC lightweight division. And another one of those reasons is because Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, and Ilia Topuria are all deserving of a title shot, but there's only one title to have a shot at, and 3 guys who are all ready to fight and all deserve a shot. So that brings a big problem when actually trying to schedule a fight. Now, why this fight is likely to happen is because Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway solves this whole lightweight logjam and gives everybody a fight that the fans are happy with, that the fighters are happy with. So the UFC is absolutely going to do it because it also gives them their super fight, one of their biggest fights since Conor McGregor versus Khabib, with Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. And as you look at your left side of the screen, it will be your left side of the screen. Point this way. That will show you exactly, dissect it in surgical manner, why this fight makes sense. So what this is going to do is have number 2 ranked Charles Oliveira fight number 5 ranked Max Holloway. Both of these fighters want this fight. It's going to be a banger fight for the fans. You could throw it on any card, and it makes that card a must-watch card. It's going to boost pay-per-view buys. You could put it on the worst card of the year. It doesn't matter. It will boost that card's popularity immensely. It could be the co-main event, main event, or feature fight of any card ever, and people are going to be happy. And so what happens after that is they already said that Arman Tsarukyan is not getting the next title shot. And Justin Gaethje's been wanting a title shot, but you, I, and my grandma all know that Justin Gaethje doesn't deserve the title shot. So what they're going to do then, since Arman doesn't get the shot either, is they're going to do Arman Tsarukyan versus Justin Gaethje. And then what they're going to do is Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria and give us the fight that everybody has been waiting for. Now, this does leave Dustin Poirer in the dark, which is unfortunate. You know, maybe he could fight Dan Hooker when Dan Hooker's hand gets better, or he could fight him with Taze Gamrot, which he probably doesn't want to do. But, I mean, Dustin's just waiting on a retirement fight anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, even though we should get him a fight. But that is perfectly how they solved this whole situation. The only other solution is that Justin Gaethje fights Dustin Poirer, Islam Makhachev moves up to welterweight if Belal Muhammad loses the belt to Jack Della Maddalena, and then Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria fight for the vacant belt. Those are the 2 solutions that are possible in this division, and it is highly likely that one of those 2 solutions happens with all those fights that I just mentioned. And this is a win-win-win for me, you, and the UFC, and a 4th win for the fighters, because every one of these fights that I just mentioned are electric fights that are going to boost any card's views and everybody wants to see. Not only that, but it solves this lightweight problem that is a big problem in the UFC right now, because we have no idea and no announcements for any fighters in the top 6 fighters plus the champion at lightweight right now. None of them have a confirmed fight. All of them besides Gaethje are ready to fight, and Hooker because he broke his hand. So it's just beautiful. UFC hired Travis for matchmaking, and we'll have all of our problems solved within 24 hours. But anyways, let's dive a little bit further into who would win this fight, Charles Oliveira or Max Holloway, as that's what this video is about. Now, if we look back to 2015, Oliveira's been in this company for 15 years. It's crazy. But 2015, Charles Oliveira fought Max Holloway, and it was a round 1 loss by KO/TKO. But if you know about that fight, or if you go find that fight on YouTube or wherever it's posted, you'll see that Charles Oliveira hurt his neck, and he was like this, and he had to wave off the fight early in the first round, and he didn't take any damage or anything. And what ended up happening was that he had a slight tear in his esophagus, which, even though it's a slight tear, esophagus is pretty crazy, and it brings crazy pain. But not only did it bring pain, it paralyzed the whole left half of Charles Oliveira's body. He couldn't move for hours, and he had to go to the hospital, and was finally able to get on his feet and walk again. We all know what happens from there. Eventually, he comes back after losing to Paul Felder, moves back up to lightweight, gets all these wins until he runs into Makhachev and Tsarukyan, which are two absolute amazing fighters right now. And mind you that this Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway fight was 10 years ago for both fighters. Both fighters have gotten way better since then, especially Charles Oliveira, but definitely both fighters. So this is a completely different fight than what we would have seen, and at a different weight class. This is bound to be an amazing fight. Now look at Max Holloway's side of this tale. In 2015, he beat Charles Oliveira. He goes on to have many more wins, only losing to Poirer, Volkanovski 3 times, and Ilia Topuria. So both these guys, for the most part, Charles, ever since he's gone on his run and started being the Charles Oliveira that he knows today, these guys have only lost to the best of the best in the UFC, in the world right now. They both are some of the best fighters in the world, and have only lost to the best fighters in the world. And this fight would be for the BMF belt, and these are two fighters who are deserving of it. You have Max, who's a great striker and great fighter, but Charles Oliveira, who also great striker, great fighter, but he's great in the jiu-jitsu realm. They both are 5'10", actually Max is 5'11", and they're both insanely good fighters, who are only 2 years apart in age, Max Holloway being the younger one. This is bound to be an amazing fight, and nothing short of it. Now, as for who's going to win this fight, I would lean towards Oliveira because he has the advantage when it comes to the ground game, but you cannot rule out Max Holloway. Last time Max Holloway was at the lightweight division, he knocked unconscious Justin Gaethje, and it was in the last second of the fight, which, if you do look back, Charles Oliveira also beat Justin Gaethje, and it took him a lot less time than it took Max Holloway to beat him. But MMA math just doesn't work like that. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira is bound to be an amazing fight, and it's very hard to pick a winner in. If I had to pick right now, I would probably side with Charles Oliveira. However, Charles Oliveira does get chinned, and Max Holloway is a guy who can find that chin, especially at 155 when he has more power. So that's it for this video. I'll keep it short. You guys got stuff to do in your day, but one last thing I'll request is let me know down in the comments. Do you have Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira winning this one, or do you got Max Holloway winning this one? And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.